Alright, so here we go. So, truck overheated and basically just came up through the reservoir. So, to me it looks like it's not a water pump, probably just the thermostat not working properly, not opening properly. So, anyway, so on this, so this is a 1992 Ford F-150 5-liter. So basically I've been draining coolant. The rad actually was replaced recently, so the valve is down the left side here, plastic, very easy to, actually can be a little tight sometimes, but pretty nice to open actually. So the coolant's been draining. Actually, I pulled off the upper rad hose up to now, and just working on the rest. Actually, next I'll be taking off the fan. So there's 4 bolts on the fan, 7/16 I believe, and 7/16 socket, 4 bolts on the fan. Once I can pop that out, and I'll pull out the shroud at the same time. The fan and the shroud will come up at the same time. Okay, so leave it for now. Alright, little update here. First of all, for getting out the fan, I would definitely recommend a ratcheted hand wrench. So it's got the ratcheted end. Makes it so much easier to get out the 4 bolts, the 4 7/16 bolts on the fan. I just have one more to take out. What I've been doing is, so I've pulled out my pans where I caught all the antifreeze that dripped down, and I've been putting it back into some empty containers just to actually it was still in very good shape. My timing cover was done just recently, so all this stuff was redone, new antifreeze, everything, so it's all in very good shape. So I'm just going to reuse it all. And what else did I want to say? Yeah, just to be careful about animals and stuff. I had a little bit drip on the driveway here, and I'm just going to wash it away when I'm done with some water. As long as it's quite diluted, then it's you know, I'm sure it's probably the best anyone can do anyway. It's hard to catch everything because it just catches everywhere. It catches in the basin by the bumper, and it runs down to one side. So you just try to catch as much as you can and do your best that way. So I guess that's it for now, and I'll just keep going. I'm just about to pull the shroud off. The shroud and the fan will be out, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, okay. All right. So I got the shroud bolts off. I think mine obviously weren't original. They were 10 millimeter. And time to just lift out the shroud and the fan together. Try to keep this thing here down. Alright, so there they are. Okay, and now basically going to take off the serpentine belt, and that's easily done with a ratchet. Something with a long handle is nice, with a 5/8 socket on it. Basically it's pretty easy to see actually where the socket goes. You just crank on the socket and it loosens, it pulls up the one pulley, and it loosens up the whole belt. The whole belt can come off, and then the pulley behind the fan comes off next, and it basically gives access at that point to, actually that doesn't even have to come off really, that pulley. You can just sit there, but you may as well pull it off anyway, and you can get access behind the, actually I'm wondering if I'm going to try not even pulling the belt off, because I'm just doing the thermostat, and I got a fair amount of access to the thermostat back there, and so I'll give it a try for sure. What else did I want to say? Oh, I also I picked up some swivels for my sockets too, and I think it's going to make it a lot easier to do the bolts on the thermostat, because they're otherwise they're pretty difficult using hand wrenches or things like that. So this should be a fairly quick job getting in there, pulling it out. And anyway, there's a little hose that also has got to come out. It's a hose that goes from the thermostat to the water pump. I think I'll pull it out on both sides just to kind of get it out of the way, so then it's easier to put the thermostat back in afterwards. Actually, I think I'll pull out the belt too. It just makes access easier overall to get in there. Anyway, okay. Alright, so pulled off the thermostat housing. It's two half-inch bolts. The one on the right is the one on the left. You can do with a swivel, and it's really not that hard. The one on the right is just patience, basically with a half-inch hand wrench, and you just got to kind of work it slowly with that end. And now I'm just kind of cleaning off the gasket a little bit with a putty knife, and then I've also got a wire brush. Just want to clean it up really nice, and then here, may as well show the next part. Here's the thermostat. So the thermostat basically sits in like that. You want the coil part to face inside the engine, so the thermostat will sit like that, and the gasket will sit over top of that and be applied to either side, and then it goes on like that. It goes in like that, and basically just loosened up this hose right here, but didn't really have to take it off. And then once I get it all back in, get this back in, I'll tighten up the clamps, and it'll all be good. Alright, so I've applied, scraped everything clean, really clean, and so there it is. Thermostat, coil side goes into the engine. I applied RTV sealant, and a lot of people say different things, use different things, but I've had good success with this stuff. So what is this? Permatex Ultra Gray Sensor Safe Gasket Maker. That's what it says.